Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be showing you how to build Skyshots using the parts from the LEGO Creator set number 31124 Super Robots and the LEGO Creator set number 31134 Space Shuttle sets. Now, first and foremost, here are the parts that you would need to build Skyshots. Now, starting off, I will be giving you a good bird's eye perspective, showing you all the parts that you would need to build this combo build. Now, as usual, some of these parts sections are going to be pre-built. This is because I normally do this because these are sections that I either have to build multiples of or build a mirror or mirror the build. And in this case, it'll be just the latter. So, bringing the camera close, letting the lens zoom in, and let's start. Now first, we will be starting with the red portion of Skyshots. Now first, we'll be starting off with the sort of chest section. So we'll be taking one of these triangular pieces, take a clear yellow 1x1 clear stud, 1x1 round stud, putting it on that stud right there in the middle of the edge. Then take the Mixel, this Mixel ball joint piece that has its two studs vertical. Then you attach it to these two studs, like so. Then you just mirror that build. Then you line these two up, grab one of these types of Mixel ball joint pieces, and then add it on, and then place it onto these two black studs right there. Good? Good. Then we take a 2x3 black plate, a 2x3 plate. We attach it onto the remaining black studs, like so. Then what we do is we take another one of these triangular pieces. We take one of these round corner tiles in yellow, and we place it on this stud right here, making sure that the corner is pointing up and pointing towards this way, making sure that the round edge is pointing out away from the corner. Then what you do is you grab one of these red vent pieces and you add it onto these two studs that are closest to this yellow tile, like so. So that the tall end is touching the corner of this tile. Then of course you mirror that as well. Then what you do is you take these sections of the build, you layer them over this section of the build. You have it so these black corner pieces line up with these black corner pieces. You just layer them over like so. Then what you do is you take a Mixel socket piece, you place onto the 2 black studs down here, like so. Then you take a 2x3 yellow plate, a black slope, a black curved tile. You attach the 2 white studs of the plate onto the anti studs up here, like so. Then what you do is you take this red part and you add on to the remaining white studs, like so, so that the 2 red studs are facing away from the black part. And then you just layer this section onto the remaining studs up here, like so, so that the red part is lined up with the 2 red parts on the side. And then there you have the torso all built up and ready to go. Next, let's work on the forearm. So, what you do is you take one of these pieces, this yellow snot piece. You take this red part, you take this part and you add on to the 2 red studs, like so. Now, like this, you make sure that this extra stud is leaning towards the left, your left. Then you take a 2x3 plate in white, and you add the corner, and you put this over the red stud, so it lines up with like so. So right now it's only connected by 1 stud. Then you turn this over, grab a yellow jumper plate, and then the stud on the jumper plate is going to go into this hole into this tube section in the center right here, like so. Okay. Then we take a 1x2 white tile. We add it onto the studs on the side right here. Boom. Like so. Then we take a 2x2 plate in gray. We layer it over the 2 yellow studs and the 2 white studs up here, like so. Then we take this 1x2 with the 2 bar connections. You attach it to these 2 studs right here and have it so that the 2 bar connections are both pointed away from the yellow parts, like so. Then you take another yellow snot piece, you add it onto the remaining 2 white studs, and then what you do is you grab this clip piece, you add it onto this side, you add it onto this stud right here, like so. So the hand goes on the side with the 2 red anti-studs. Okay? Then you take a cheese wedge in white and you add on to the other yellow stud, making sure that the taller end is facing towards the clip piece, forming the hand. Then what you do is you grab a 1x4 plate in yellow, you place it on the side, place it on these 4 studs on the side with the hand, like so. And then you take this, like this edge piece with the edge going out this way. You add those onto the 4 studs on the other side. Have it so it lines up with the cheese wedge. Then what you do is you grab a black 2 stud wide cheese wedge. This black double cheese wedge. I'm not sure it's a black 2 wide cheese wedge. You add it onto the 2 studs closest to the hand, like so. Then you take a red 1x2 tile, you add it onto the next 2 studs, and then you take a mixel clip piece like this, so it's horizontal, and you grab another one of these black curved tile pieces. You place it in like so, and then you attach this onto the remaining studs, making sure that the side with the socket joint is facing towards the side with this white tile, like so. And then you just mirror that, and using the opposite side, the mirrored version of this part. Okay? Good. Now let's work on the shoulders. So we grab this piece, this white piece. We grab this gray piece with this like thing under, this like whole thing under it. You clip this onto this white part like so, so that the two overhang studs are facing towards the sides that will allow it to hinge down. Okay, then you just clip that in like so, so that it like hinges down like that. And then after that, we take another one of these mixel ball joint pieces, vertical mixel ball joints. Yeah, add it onto the anti-studs of this white part, like so. And then on top of this ball joint, you add one of these mixel socket joints that's more vertical. On top of that, with the ball joint facing the opposite side. Then you just mirror that. Pretty simple. Now let's work on the shoulder wings. So, we take this part. We take a trans yellow cheese wedge. We add it onto the corner like so. So that the tall end is pointing away from the opposite end. Then right next to it, you add another one of these vented pieces. Add it next to there, like so. Have so that the tall end is lined up with the other cheese wedge, Then what you do is you take a 1x6 yellow tile. You place it here so that you place onto these studs between the cheese wedge and the stud at the end. And then at the stud at the end, you add one of these pieces, these red pieces. You attach this anti-stud onto this stud, like so. And then on top of that, or under that rather, you add another one of these 1x1 yellow studs, trans yellow studs, and you add it onto the anti-stud of this red part, like so. Then after that, you grab this part that has the edge facing the same direction as the large red piece, and then you just line it up under here like so, so that the end of this is right next to the yellow stud piece, and then you just squeeze that together. And after that, you just mirror that. And now let's work on the head. So the head, take this part, you take this piece, flip it upside down. The black studs are going to connect to the anti-studs right here. Okay, then you take this part, going to take this cheese wedge in this smoky, in this dark, in this like trans like brown color, trans black or brown color. Yeah, add on top of the stud that has the Lego logo. The solid stud, not the hollow one, and you line up like so, so that the tall end of the cheese lobe is facing away from the stud on the side. Then you just copy that, and then you just layer, and then you just attach these onto the gray studs here, like so, and like so. Then you take this part and this corner tile, this triangular tile, you add the anti-stud onto the stud like so, have it so that it's pointed this way, and that the mirror version is pointing that way. Then you just attach this anti-stud, and you just attach this anti-stud onto this stud on the sides, like so, and like so. Then you have the head complete. And done like that. But before we do assembly, let's quickly build the bottom half. So starting off, we'll be working on the shin part. So we'll take this piece, we'll add this clip piece over down here, so that's facing this way. Let's add a white 1x1 square stud under that. Doing good. Then let's attach this onto the top studs of this snot piece, like that, so that the clip is facing away from the studs. Then you take this piece, you attach it to the anti-studs like so. Then you take a 1x2 in this bluish color, you add it onto the anti-studs of this part like so. Then after that, you take this piece, you attach these two anti-studs to the two studs up here, and make sure you grab the one with the edge facing this way, so that when you attach it like this, this edge is pointing up, so it's lining up with the yellow part. Then after that, you take this part, you take the two anti-studs with no studs on top, and then you attach them onto the remaining two gray studs, like so. Then you take a triangular piece, have it so that this corner is facing towards the sides, facing towards the tall side. Then you just attach that to the blue studs. Then after that, you flip it over, and then you'll be using these two white anti-studs to take an Among Us hinge piece, or I'm just going to call it the round hinge piece. I'm tired of calling it the Among Us hinge piece. You attach the stud onto the white anti-stud on the same side as the clip, like so. Then you take this clip, another one of these clip pieces, you attach it on to this side so that the clip is facing out this way, and so that's the clip, so that the hinge part is pointing straight, so that it's parallel with the rest of the shin. Then you take this piece that you clip it onto this gray piece so that the main bulk of the part is pointing up towards the knee. Then you take a 1x2 rounded plate, and then you add it on to these two anti-studs of these two separate parts, like so. Well, now that part's done, and you can go ahead and mirror that. Okay. Next, let's work on the this section. So let's start by taking this blue part, this blue curved tile. Take a mixel ball joint that's horizontal like this. You add it onto the two anti-studs up here. Boom. So that's nice and lined up. Then you take two more of these mixel ball joints. Then you add them like so. Then you add them onto the anti-studs down here like so, so that the ball joints are facing the opposite directions, and so that they're facing each side. Then you take a 2x2 gray plate, and then you add it onto the anti-studs down there. Then you take another one of these yellow pieces, then you add it down here at these studs, at these yellow studs, down here on these two anti-studs, and have it so that it's pointed, have it so that the side studs are pointed away from the ball joint up here. Then you take this bar piece, attach it to the two gray anti-studs, have it so that this is pointing up here. Then you take this hinge part, you clip it onto the bar connection in the middle of that. Then you take a Lego rod, the Lego rod piece, and then you plug it into this part like so. You attach it like that. Then you have that section built. Then we'll take this part, we'll take this round piece, attach it onto that stud that's close to there. Take this part, attach onto the gray stud, onto this mixel part. Take this piece, attach it onto these two anti-studs so that the side studs are facing this way. And then take this hinge part and add it onto the two yellow studs. and have it so that this hinge part is facing away from the socket piece. Then you just mirror that. Then let's work on the foot. It's pretty simple. You just take this part, add this clip, take this part, add this clip piece onto this stud right here, have so that the clip piece is attached to, the clip side is attached to the stud, take a 1x2 blue piece, attach it to this other stud on this side, like so. Take another one of these round corner tiles, attach it like so, so that it's pointing this way. Then attach a 2x2 yellow plate onto these two anti-studs down here, and then take one of these parts in white and then add them onto the 4 studs like so. And with that done, let's start assembly. So for this part, you just attach this stuff on. You clip this on, you clip this here, and then you clip this here, and then the legs are fully done. Now as for the top half, you clip this onto here, have it so that these studs are connected to these red anti-studs down here, have it so it's like that. Do the same with the other side, like so. And you can just attach to the ball joints here, attach the head, and then attach that to the main body. And that is how you build sky shots. But real quick, I actually want to change something, because I actually want to change up the torso design, and I have found a way to change it up, and all it takes are these 3 parts. One of these, one of these, and one of these. So what you do is you take this part, take these 2 parts, set them aside, take this part, line it up with the anti-studs of the red part, take these off, take this off, take this off, move this aside, take this, move it here between the 2 yellow studs, take this part, add on to there, line these up again, take this part, put it down here like so, have those pointing that way, then attach this like so. Then after that, you can attach everything like it's supposed to. Make sure everything's all lined up. Boom, boom, boom. And that is good. And that's not looking too bad. Now, the transformations should still be possible with this slight modification. I just wasn't too big of a fan of how lanky the torso was, so I decided to quickly fix that, and I think it looks way better now. Such a small little fix really changes this up to be pretty different. I do enjoy it. Now it does make him a little bit shorter. Now he's a little bit shorter compared to Danya, but it's honestly worth it. So that'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial build. If you enjoyed this build, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.